Defund the police is being put to mayors across the country, but it means different things depending on who you're asking. To some protesters, defund means disband. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey was booed out of a protest after saying he does not support abolishing police. Some organizers don't go so far. They interpret defund literally, as in just spend less on a police presence and weapons and spend more on education and housing. These ideas have sparked a national debate, but here on Capitol Hill, the whole concept is viewed as a step too far. I just wanted to ask you about this idea of defunding the police. Is that something that you support?
I just don't believe in that as an answer, that you take money away from an essential department. It would have to be crippling to have an effect, and I do not want to cripple law enforcement. That's my answer.
Democrats introduced a bill this week on policing reform. Defunding the police is nowhere to be found. It does, however, ban chokeholds, make lynching a federal crime, restrict military weapon sales to police departments, and create a national database of police misconduct. Republicans have even indicated that they'd support some measures.
Well, there's some of the things in the Democratic bill I could support, some I can't. I think the public would appreciate us trying to move the ball forward.
What about this ban on a chokehold, a database?
Sounds like a good one.
Okay.
Sounds like something would make sense, kind of a national registry of, tracking how often does this occur. I think those things make perfect sense to me.
Despite the fact that this bill may have bipartisan support, it's just not enough for protesters.
This is only the beginning. Those are things that should have been in place to begin with, and the fact that the government failed to do that says exactly where we are in our lives. So for me, I'm not, and my group, we're not going to be satisfied with just that. We need this to be consistent, be continued. Don't just pass laws to shut us up, but continue to keep up this effort and to understand that every single year the Black people are people. It shouldn't be 10 years and 20 years of peace and stability and treating us like we're human beings, and then 10 years later you start treating us like we're dogs, because that's what's happening right now. I feel like I'm being treated like an animal. The fact that I have to fight for my human right when I was born a human being is the most disrespectful shit that I've ever had to do.
What do you think of this idea of defunding the police?
I actually don't think it's far enough. I personally believe we should abolish the police. I do think a radical change is what we need. I think we need to at least start over. Like, the current police system is born out of something evil, to be honest with you. It's born out of something, hateful. So we need to at least have a new system or new force in the system built off of something completely new.
Black Lives Matter DC painted their message to defund the police straight onto a Washington, D.C. street on Saturday night.
The police are not the only way to guarantee safety, and most of the times they don't. We believe that communities can best take care of each other when they are happy, healthy, and safe. A lot of the things we do are abolitionist, and people are afraid of the word. But every time we can work out a conflict between people and not involve the police, that's an abolitionist way of working together. Every time neighborhood communities, not neighborhood watch, but people get together and find out what people in their neighborhood need and fulfill that need, that's an abolitionist practice.
So you think that if there was no police in DC would still be safe?
I believe anywhere would still be safe. I also believe that it's something people have to buy into and understand. But right now, the alternative is that you're far more likely to be harmed by police, law enforcement, than you are to be on the street.